Okay, so after your vector is drawn, you are going to get this handout and you are going to create a value scale using one color that you choose. So I'm going to use a blue-green. So what you need to decide is, do I want to use the cool version or the warm color, warm version of that? So if I'm using blue-green, first off, I'm going to use blue and I'm going to use the cool green. And then I'm also going to, before I mix this, I got to make green, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of my cool blue here. And then for mixing colors, this is where you need to decide. Warm yellow, remember that one is a warmer color, so it kind of lends itself more to the like an orange color. So that means that if I'm mixing a warm color, this would be a good one to use, but because I'm actually going to be mixing a cool color, I want to use the cool color because remember, blue, green, or green is a cool color. Okay, so here you see I have about equal amounts, and I'm going to create a green first. So I mix it. Okay, that's a pretty good green. I'm gonna add just a smidge more yellow because that blue was a little bit more overpowering. Okay, there we go. So now I have a pretty good green. And so now I can make my blue-green color. So to do that, I'm just going to keep my little pile of green here. And I'm going to pull some of this blue over top. And when you're mixing this for this activity, I want you to have more color than what you think you need so that you aren't, you know, you should have a little like puddle of color. All right, so this now looks to the point that it is not green, it's not blue. We have a pretty solid blue-green color here. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to match this color to create a value scale matching this. So on here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values. You are going to be creating the same. So this is kind of my mid-tone here. So this is going to kind of be starting off here as kind of like my cleanest color. So I'm going to kind of maybe start that right about here. Okay. So then from here, my color needs to get lighter and it needs to get darker. So that's where you are going to use a little bit of black and a little bit of white to create your value scales. Remember, when we are using black and white though, with the color, try your best not to mix these together because we don't want to, we want to not make gray. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to create my lighter tones first, my lighter tints first, and then I'll go back and do the shades. Okay, so I have my tints of color here. Now from here, I'm going to go darker. Now this would be the point that you would want to make sure that you rinse out your brush or really, really wipe it off. And this area that I've been mixing with white, do not add black into that, okay? So I'm going to take from this clean color again. I'm going to mix my 3 darker shades. Okay, so you see on this one, I had it way too dark, so I actually made it this shade, and I went back in and added a little bit more of that blue-green. So now you can see, and this will dry a little bit lighter, but you should be able to see a distinction between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you need to pick the color, and you actually need to complete this activity before you get started on your vector painting.